to our first ever episode of the Power Art Podcast. My name is John. I have several years of experience reading and watching anime and manga, roughly around 300 series that I've seen. Uh, and I am joined by my friend.
I'm Kynan. Um, I read a little bit of manga here and there, mostly Junji Ito.
Yeah. So we're going to be going on this journey of trying to one showing Kynan a live spectrum of different manga series and stuff to for him to experience that. But something else that we are also trying doing is uh, seeing how strong a character is and their progress they go through to get to where they are. And obviously, question with that is how whenever question that pops up whenever someone's asking how strong a character is can they beat Goku? So that's what we are going to do. We're going to see how strong Goku is first, then we're going to see how other characters deal with him. If you hear dogs in the background, you see them right there. Yeah. Um, so, Kynan, what was. Before you even read Dragon Ball, what was your thoughts going into it?
Um, whenever it came to Dragon Ball, I watched like the first 21 episodes on YouTube whenever I was a teenager, and I really didn't think much of it other than it was goofier than I thought Dragon Ball would be. Even back then, I didn't know that there was Dragon Ball. I just thought that everything started with Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Um, that's what. I think a bunch of people don't. Oh, hi, Daryl. Um,
I have to edit that part out.
yeah. The a lot of people don't really know that Dragon Ball is different from Dragon Ball Z. It's the same story, but it starts out completely different than how Dragon Ball Z started. Um, it's it's a comedy, which we can
Yeah.
get into. Um, it's quite apparent that this was made not for our generation's humor. Well, also because there's a cultural difference there too, but there's also
Yeah.
a big generational gap there for comedy wise, anyways. Um, so what was some of your thoughts on the comedy?
Well, it was rough getting through the 20 chapters because it seemed like every chapter had to make some kind of sexual innuendo or joke, and it was just pretty uncomfortable, especially when you take into account like Oma is like what 16 years old, and then you've got people like Kame Senin, who is just pretty much dirty old pervert. It's just really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, get ready because Master Roshi shows up a lot more in the coming arcs.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah. When I first read Dragon Ball, because I didn't, I've first time I read Dragon Ball was like 2 years ago, and whenever I read the first book of Dragon Ball, I almost immediately dropped the series just because of the humor of it is not wasn't for me, but it's also like I felt very disgust. Not don't want to say disgusted, but I guess it was. I felt disgusted after reading a few of those chapters.
Yeah. And there's also like some of the nudity that was in there. I'm like, okay, why am I reading this?
Yeah. Um, Speaking of while we were reading it, Um, we were reading it to figure out how strong these characters were. Um,
Yeah.
and there was only like three characters that really had feats to them in this arc. That being Goku, Master Roshi, and Yamcha.
What about Yu Mao,
Gimao,
the
uh,
Ox King?
I'm talking about Chi Chi's father.
Yeah, Chi Chi's father.
Uh, from what I can recall, Chi Chi's father didn't really do anything. There's like nothing really there that actually. I mean, that could have been different in the anime. I know in the manga there wasn't really anything that the Ox King did.
Yeah. In reality, they just made him look like a jabroni.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Chi Chi might be up there. I mean, whenever Kid Goku was trying to determine if she was a girl or not, she really thumped him upside the head.
Yeah,
But then again, it's not even a full out fight.
yeah, that would say yeah. So for those who are watching, me and Kynan are big wrestling fans. So something that I did going through this arc was I gave star ratings to every fight. And what I want to do is I want to see if Kynan can guess what star ratings I gave to these fights.
Mm.
I didn't put all of them down here on here because most of them were not good fights. Early Dragon Ball is not known for its good fights. Um, so I'll list off a few right now, and I will see what star rating you would give. These are on a scale of 1 through 5, and it's 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, so on and so on.
So we're not going with the Dave Meltzer style with the out of 10 stars.
No, we're not doing it out of 10 stars. That's, especially for early Dragon Ball, that is quite a tall task to ask. So, I don't know what's beeping, but oh well. Okay, so Bulma versus Goku.
So that's first chapter, right?
First chapter.
Yeah. I'd say it was hardly even a fight. I mean, he shoots at him with whatever type of gun it is, and it's just unfazed. So I'd probably say it was a 1 star.
I gave it 2 stars because there's only was really 2 other fights in the series that actually had more combat in it than that. Nothing got 5 stars. That is the
Yeah.
third highest. That's the third tied for second highest rating that I gave. Uh, Goku versus the giant fish. From
At the what? Against the what?
the giant fish from chapter 1.
Oh, the giant fish. I mean, to me, still really not much of a fight. Just a little bit of hunting, and also something I really didn't want to have to see while reading a manga. So, I mean, I wish I could say, is it possible to give 0 stars on that?
No.
Well, then, if I can't give 0 stars, it's going to be 1 star. So, because
Yeah.
I just did not want to see what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
I just did not want to see that.
I gave it a 1 star. Mostly just because it was just a one move. Um, so most of the time, most of these fights that I went off of, the wiki for the the arc said that these are the fights in it, and most of them weren't even actual fights.
Yeah.
There's like
I think it's just the moment where I think it's just the moments where you actually get any martial arts action.
oh no, not even that, because they have Goku versus Oolong. There was not even a punch thrown.
I know. That was more of just a normal episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Just promos.
Yeah. Like Goku versus Bulma at least had a Goku destroyed a jeep. He tanks a headshot with a pistol, which I found out what type of pistol it was that she used. Then Bulma surrenders immediately after.
So. Yeah. I mean, Goku has always been overpowered AF.
Yes and no. He normally we find out later when we continue on in reading. He kind of I want to say he's one that started the tropes of villain comes in first in the first act of the arc, utterly defeats the main cast in the second act, gets stronger. Then in the third act, they beat the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like some of these other fights, like Goku versus the Shaman priest, where he just he tanks a axe attack to the head and shatters the axe. They count that as a fight.
Yeah.
And there's not a punch thrown. You just say axe. Oh fuck! It broke. I surrender. So it's like.
Yeah. I mean, even though it's not really a fight and more just castle doctrine, if we were rating it based on like how well it shows that Goku is powerful, I'd probably give it about 3 stars. But in terms of a fight, I'd probably give it 2 stars because that would just
the Sherman Priest. I gave 1 star. I gave the Sherman Priest 1 star because it's one move.
I know, but it's effective.
No, it was not effective at all. Goku's
well, it's
like,
effective
why do you
in
hit
establishing
me?
Goku's powerful.
But
it's effective in showing that he's inhuman.
But in chapter 1, they had Bulma shoot him in the head with a hold on. I have the weapon. I have it written down somewhere. I have the gun written down. Alright, so I'll look for that. Thoughts on Yamcha?
Thoughts on Yamcha? Absolute jabroni. I mean, he's like Raj from The Big Bang Theory. Just the moment girl comes in, panics. And, I mean, it did seem like he would have gotten the upper hand on Goku, but that was only because Goku was hungry. And to me, so many times Yamcha mentions Fist of the Wolf Fang, and that just keeps reminding me of Solo Sokoa, Samoan Spike. Like wants to act tough with it when really, as time goes on, it
loses its effect.
Doesn't really lead much places.
Yeah. So I found the gun that was used. It is a Walther's PP pistol. So back to what I was saying. The axe to the head. I would say that him taking a gunshot to the head is more effective than, an axe to the head.
Well, the thing is, you're going with 2 different types of attacks there. There's the absolute force and speed of a bullet, and then you also got blunt force from a solid piece of what is either iron or steel.
Yeah.
It's blunt force, and it's enough force that usually if you have blunt force against metal and it doesn't work, usually it gets smashed. But if you're talking, you hit it upside Goku's head and it turns into pieces, that's just showing the type of force that Goku's skin has in defense.
Yeah. Uh, Speaking of this Walter's PP pistol, it is classified on versus.com or the Versus Wiki as a street level weapon. So that already puts a Goku at street level for durability. Uh, Continuing on with our star ratings for some of these fights. Um, Yamcha versus Goku. 1.
That's probably one I would give 2 stars
No,
as well.
okay, so I gave it a 3-star rating. That is, in terms of this arc, Goku versus Yamcha 1 is the best fight in this arc.
But yeah, because you actually see some kind of blowback because you see at first hit how powerful it is, and then of course Goku pulling out, was it pronounced Nyoibo
Um,
staff?
yeah, I think it's called Niobo. It's Sun Wukong's staff. So, yeah. Um, that is.
I mean,
Go on.
even then, Goku probably could have ended up winning that fight if Boma hadn't just come in and scared the absolute crap out of Yamcha.
See,
But
I feel like I feel like Yamcha would probably would have completely beaten Goku in that first encounter, just because Goku has an 8.
yeah, that is true because he did say on a later chapter, he's like, "You won't get me now because I've actually ate."
Yeah,
That
and
seems to be a running trope throughout the entire franchise.
yeah, there's that, but that's also carried over. I I don't know if it started with Dragon Ball, but I know a bunch of trends in Shonen has started from Dragon Ball. So I don't know if the main character eating a bunch of food and then where they don't have food becomes super weak. I don't know if that started with Dragon Ball. I know it carries over a little into Naruto. Carries over into One Piece. Um, several shows and series carry that trope into it. Um, yeah.
Yeah, which I will note, I shouldn't be surprised that Shonen Jump had a lot of like the pervertedness in there because after all, I've read Assassination Classroom.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, in Assassination Classroom,
Came
the
out
character
way
that has
later.
all that,
It came out
yeah, and
way
plus
later.
the character, yeah, and the character that is perverted in Assassination Classroom, that's like one of his fatal flaws, and they just uh, dig into him about that. So
Mm-hmm.
in a way, they kind of did correct course. Either way, um, the pervertedness.
I feel like that's just
I mean, in
Japan.
my
Japan has this thing where it's not even just Shonen Jump. It's every there's someone in almost every series that's just a pervert. Um, Again,
was there a pervert in Death Note?
probably. Um,
I mean, I didn't really see any perverts, but if anyone was going to be perverted in there, I'm pretty sure it would probably be Ryuk.
I'm gonna say Ryuk. I probably would say Misa. I think Misa might have been the perverted character because just how she
Yeah,
lusted
I'm.
after Light. Um, but that's also I haven't read or watched Death Note in years. I would have to review it on the show to find out. But I think it's just the Japanese culture. There's just
Yeah.
some people find that because you also got to think is also when it comes to like the authors who wrote these series. Most of them wrote it when
Yeah.
they were in their early early 20s to it's when they usually started. So most people are going to have those. It's going basically creating these characters is a gateway to express that feeling without actually expressing it.
It's definitely a culture thing because after all, there are the memes about so many anime characters having the gravity defying, oh, you know, and of course we have watched uh that one anime, the 100 Girlfriends of what's his name?
Uh, this 100 girlfriends that really, 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 really love you.
Yeah, the one that my wife really enjoys.
I enjoyed too.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. There are some moments that kind of get pretty funny because they can be really goofy.
Yes, it is. It is a comedy, so and it's done well.
Yeah.
Um, it's also a parody, so it's not. I think that's another reason why I like it because it is a parody of rom coms and harem genres and stuff. Um, what were what were your general thoughts on the Emperor Pilaf arc?
My thoughts on the Pilaf arc.
Yeah,
So are we talking about whenever Pilaf joins the chat, or like
no,
the
from
entire 20 chapters?
the entire trendy chapters.
For me, each chapters, I gotta say, it was just like really infantile with the humor, and like it was only till chapter 20 they started acknowledging where the humor is just blah. As Pilaf acknowledges that
One
they kind of
second.
resorted to that kind of humor, but as the arc goes on, I'm pretty sure if you remove just all the innuendos and stuff, it would have been able to stand well on its own. It would have been a little higher rated.
Yeah. Um, for me, I hated this arc so much. Um, again, comedy is not wasn't for us. So
Yeah,
I try not to let that uh, persuade my opinion on it, since it is wasn't made for us. But like stuff that I can hold against it. Emperor Pilaf is not a compelling villain at all.
ah, no, he's not.
Like he shows up at like the very end of the arc, and it's like he's not a threat at all. Is just catches them off guard basically.
Yeah, even even when you continue on with Pilaf, he's practically nothing.
Yeah, which
He's just cannon fodder.
just kind of sucks because most some series is you you base it off of how good that first villain is. Like My Hero Academia, Shigaraki. He's one of the greatest villains of at least this current generation. He
Yeah,
he starts off as a threat to these kids in the USJ arc. Even just with the sheer number of people he brought with him to do it, uh, and he you see his growth over time. So
yeah,
even it it kept him relevant throughout the story, to where he is the final villain, but he's also was the good first villain.
yeah.
Um, or like in Naruto, I don't know if you've seen Naruto yet. The
I have not touched a single ounce of Naruto.
Okay, so the first real villain of Naruto is Zabuzu. He has a very tragic story. I ain't gonna spoil it because eventually we will cover it on cover Naruto on this podcast. So I would like to save the spoiler stuff for Naruto for when you get to it. But Naruto, if it wasn't for Zabuzu, the story in Naruto I think would be completely different because that's how good Zabuzu was to the very beginning of Naruto. Um, but yeah, I I guess for this to wrap up my thoughts on the general thoughts on the Pilaf arc is that don't think I just don't think I am into gag mangas because that's what this was in the very beginning. It was a very 80s gag manga. Has a bit of adventure to
Yeah.
it, had a bit of action, but primary focus was that it was a gag manga.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell where the 80s influence was in there with the artistic style, because some of the artistic influences in that kind of also seems like some of the artistic influences for Battle Angel Alita, which was
Yeah.
also 80s and 90s.
Um, so before we move on to the next segment, um, I want to take a second and ask you what are 10 series that you would like to see or what you would like to read on this journey of the podcast?
Well, um, I
If you.
would like to continue My Hero Academia because that's got some great character work, and some great story, some
Mhm.
great action sequences. Um, I really want to get into reading Black Clover because I can remember when you showed me episodes of the anime. So ever since I've really been wanting to continue on, um, really getting to know the story of Black Clover. Um, Assassination Classroom, of course, is one of my favorites, so I put that on the list. I'm a huge fan of Akira. I consider that to be one of the hallmarks of manga and anime. I mean, even when anime came out, that was before the series even finished.
Mhm.
Um, I'd I'd probably put the actual Dragon Ball Z on that list instead of Dragon Ball, just where Dragon Ball Z had more compelling story and wasn't really as humorous.
Yeah.
I'd probably avoid Dragon Ball Super because it just doesn't hit as well, and I don't want to put in the same series twice on this list.
Well, after we read Dragon Ball, we are moving into Dragon Ball Z, and we when we finish Z, we may do a pause before Super, but we eventually we will be doing Super as well. Uh,
Yeah,
but that's not that could be either that could be 10 series down the line. That could be 20 series down the line. I don't know, but like, the current plan is we'll do Dragon Ball Z combined because that is technically supposed to be one story, one continuous
well,
story.
wasn't Kai whenever all the filler got removed?
I believe so. Um, well, I don't. If you're going to be watching the anime, I don't know exactly what you would need to be re-watching, but I know with the manga, it's just straight. There's no filler in the manga. Um, for me though, um, people who will be watching this on the YouTube, huh? You're laughing at my number 10 that I would like to read. Uh, so number 10 is High School DxD. Do you know what that series is, Cotton?
Wait, I'm trying to remember.
If you want, you can ask your wife right now and you can get her reaction to it.
Oh Lord, what was it called again?
High School DxD.
EXE.
DXD. Two D's. Double D's. Oh wait, You can ask her right now. Come on.
That's what I'm doing.
If are you texting or are you saying it?
I'm texting.
Okay, I will continue on, and once she replies, let me know.
Yeah. Hey, babe, what's High School DxD or whatever it's called on the anime list?
What, when we were watching it with Gage? Can't remember.
She can't remember.
Oh, I know she lost it because she talks about it all the
When we
time.
first got together.
Yeah. So she remembers watching something with one of my roommates from senior year of college.
Hmm. Okay, that was kind of disappointing because I was hoping that she would be able to explain it. You'll find out soon enough. I technically
Yeah.
I could grab volume one real quick. Uh, say something for a minute while I grab volume one.
Yeah. Um, Forgot to mention the other anime.
Oh no.
Which, there are some other manga slash anime I have thought about wanting to include for Power Arc. One of them is Kill a Kill and Soul Eater.
Uh huh.
I've tried getting into Soul Eater. It's a slow thing, but Kill a Kill, I've
Yeah.
watched the whole anime. Reading the manga would be a little weird. I mean, I know it's filled with the innuendos, but I found the storyline pretty interesting. I figured it was worth a mention.
Yeah. So here is High School DxD.
My wife just pulled it up and showed me the images of it.
Yeah. This is a novel, so it's not a manga. So
Oh, it's a novel. Didn't they also do that with Overlord?
yes. Speaking of Overlord, that is on my list. That is number 8. Number 9 is Solo Leveling, which I feel like you would love the anime for that.
Is Record of Ragnarok on your list?
It is not on my list. Um,
And I'm like one episode to finish my entire night too.
Like Record of Ragnarok would be on my list since you basically say it combines mythology with Mortal Kombat. So ever since then, I've
basically,
been sold on reading it.
basically, we will eventually get to it sooner rather than later. It is going to be a little bit more difficult to scale some of these characters in that series. Yeah. um,
My wife just said that Chainsaw Man is on her list of want to read.
it is. It is. That is a very good series.
Slayer and Spikes. You know what I would like to get in the platform?
What?
Species reviewers.
I just found my list of my top 10.
Ah,
I forgot I had it in our chat.
yes. Um, uh, Number 7 for me is Blue Exorcist. Um, Number 6, Musuku Tensei. Number 5 is that time I got reincarnated as a slime. 4 is Bleach. 3 is Naruto. 2 is Madoka Box. 1 is One Piece. Which I know you are scared to start One Piece.
Oh, One Piece, the anime with over 20 seasons and thousands of episodes.
Yep.
And has yet to end.
Yep. One of the greatest stories ever told.
I mean, it has to be if it can be that ongoing.
Yes.
Which
I cannot
here's
wait for you to read One Piece.
yeah, here's my official top 10 list of fun to read for Power Arc. 10 would be Hunter x Hunter, which I really don't know much about, but I know you had been hooked on watching it when we were in college. Number 9, Neon Genesis Evangelion or Evangelion. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm mainly interested in that because some of the elements and the fact that the creator of Neon Genesis directed Shin Godzilla.
Mm.
My number 8, One Piece. 7, Kill la Kill. 6, Record of Ragnarok. 5, My Hero Academia. 4, Battle Angel Alita. 3, Demon Slayer. 2, Black Clover, and number 1, Akira.
Yeah. Um, I could have told you because I remember after I read my list, like, oh, what's this underneath it? It's your list. It was right underneath mine. So I could have helped you out there, but it's all right.
Yeah, which, to the viewers, speaking of One Piece, we once did a D&D campaign that was uh, in the world of One Piece, and
Why are you
it
bringing
didn't
this
really
up?
go.
Why are you bringing this up?
I just think it's funny. I just think it's really funny because the first campaign was pretty much a bit of a fail just because of our friend who wanted to spend an hour talking to NPC fish people.
No, people will misunderstand that because you said fish people, because there are fish people in One Piece. The
Yeah.
they say that Hal did. How he talked to fish, not fish people, not fishmen. That's a fish. Asking him what was happening on land. He spent an hour talking to the fish, and every single time he asked a question, I told him, I don't know. I'm a fish. If you want to find out what's happening on land, go talk to the people on land. And he took an hour to go on land. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? Yeah. There, you happy? I talked about that right now. You happy?
I just think it's funny. And then again, leave it to the bard.
Yeah. It's always the bard that does the stupid shit. I did stupid shit when I was the bard. How's played bard twice, and he's done stupid shit both times. More stupid shit than what I did. Anyways, continuing on. What would you, if you were to guess the feats of strengths that occur during this arc, what would you say some of those feats were?
What was that?
If you were to recall some of the feats that occurred during this arc, like feats of strength, feats of speed, what ones come to your mind?
What feats of strength in the Pilaf Saga?
Yes.
My audio is kind of like cutting in. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi.
Do you need me to repeat?
Yeah.
Okay. So what were some of the feats shown in the Pilaf arc that you found interesting, or I guess better way to put it, feats that you liked in the Pilaf arc?
Feats I liked. I might have to say the axe getting into crumbs. Just because, again, the sheer force of Goku's skin, I mean, I'm involved in science after all. Um, Another one. The only other one I can really say would be Kame Sennin converting his strength into actual swollenness and doing the first use of the Kamehameha.
Yeah, that puts Roshi at mountain level.
Yeah,
He destroys the
because
mountain.
because that was pretty much nuclear strength. The Kamehameha blast.
Not nuclear, because nuclear would be a atomic bomb would be a large city level. Uh, I believe mountain is below city level. I could be wrong there, but I think mountain. No, wait, no. Someone's going to correct me in the comments, but I want to say that large cities above mountain level. I am probably 100% wrong there, though. It probably goes building, mountain, city, but I think it's. Uh, oh wait, no, that's what I think. It's city, building, mountain, city. This probably goes building, city, mountain, though. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. Um, Either way, uh, we got that's Roshi's spot. The arc is him destroying the mountain. Uh, so he has a mountain destroy feat that puts it. That is at least for this arc. That's his cap. That's also his only feat in this arc. So that puts him at mountain level. Do you recall what Yamcha's big feat of this arc was?
Uh, Probably sending Goku through his columns of rock using the first use of the Fangs of the Wolf Fist.
Yes, that is his biggest feat in this arc. That puts him around small building level. Um, do you want to guess where does Goku um, land on that? Not counting his Ozaru form.
Um, at the Pilaf arc, his speed of strength.
Yep.
That's tough. I might say the part where he puts Bunny Boss and the Rabbit Mafia on the moon.
That was more of the Nyobo, right? Like they got.
Yeah, he extended it and he basically put him on the moon, mimicking that children's story that was mentioned as a footnote on one of the pages.
Uh, so that technically is not a feat of strength because the Nyobo in Dragon Ball and Journey to the West, it can grow to whatever length the wielder wants it to grow. So technically, that's not a feat of strength on Goku's part. But something that is a feat of strength on Goku's part is whenever he did the Kamehameha and put a hole in that car.
Yeah.
That puts him at small building level.
I mean, when he did that part, it was kind of like it kind of sounded like a me thing because of the lack of common sense that he had for that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, crap, you destroyed our only car.
Yeah. Uh, that is Goku's entire thing, especially in early Dragon Ball, is that he is so technologically de-advanced, or I don't know. Some reason I'm blanking on the word. Um, he's so far behind in understanding technology and stuff that he is a he has no care for basically anything that would be beneficial for him and his team. Um, yeah, But that puts him at small building level. So that him and Yamcha are at the end of the arc, same level. But if you calculate the Zaru form, that puts him at a that puts Goku at large building level. So
Yeah.
uh, did you? Was there any feats in the first arc that surprised you?
It surprised me.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, because I have seen this in the anime before,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, the surprising stuff really doesn't come in until um, Dragon Ball Z when they introduced the Super Saiyan form and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say anything is an anti-feat, it would be the whole deal with Oolong, because he just proves being the weakest link in the entire arc.
Yeah. How do you feel about Oolong having the MVP moment of the arc though? When
Oh my god. I don't know. I was embarrassed watching that in the anime and then to read it. It made me cringe. Because you
yeah,
have one moment to do something epic. I mean, I get that it was in the heat of the moment and to keep Pilaf from getting his wish of dominating the world. But to wish for that, it's just
what did he wish for, bud?
what
What did he wish for?
I don't want to say it, especially given my reputation.
Come on.
Like my whole I'm
Daisy's
not.
helping you. She doesn't want me to make you say it. But what did he say? Come on, say it.
He basically wished for a pair of underwear. I didn't want to have to say it, but he, he's I don't know if him or Roshi are the bigger perverts. They seem equally perverted. Like I would rather Krillin actually get a win than have to deal with Oolong or Roshi anymore.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of Krillin, that's our next arc. Is his introduction. Uh,
I guess soon they'll bring in arc with the martial arts tournament and bringing in the main villain Piccolo.
well, Piccolo is the final villain of original Dragon Ball. Uh, the next arc is the World Tournament arc. The
Yeah.
22nd Kadichi Bukai. Yeah. Um, but going, our last segment that we're going to do. What, in terms of stocks, if you had to invest stocks into these characters, we're only going to do
Best
this.
stock for the country?
We only you had $20. I had $20. And the three characters that have feats right now are Roshi, uh, Yamcha, and Goku. You had $20. Where are you putting your stocks?
Uh,
We if you want, we can go at. I can do one of mine. Then you go to you, back to me. We can start between it if you want.
I mean, my stocks. I'd probably put it on Goku because even though there's some moments I can cringe with him, he's got the childhood innocence and he built up his strength because he is the main hero after all.
Mm-hmm.
Yamcha, I'm not going to bet on him because he can get laid to waste pretty easily.
Yeah. Oh. Ew. That's weird.
Like I'm not going anywhere near Roshi.
uh, don't know why my camera went off. There we go. Turn that back on. I think my dog's best around with the stuff, my stuff in the back of my computer. Um, so you basically putting everything on Goku, right? Hello.
Yeah, I'm putting everything on Goku because that just seems like the right thing for me. Because like I said, Yamcha is a jobber, and Roshi is just gives me too much of the heebie-jeebies.
So, $20 on Goku.
What just happened to your camera? It seems like your audio is cut out. I'm just like hearing dead silence right now. Um, you got a symbol on your thing. Uh, it's not. It's like a slasher headphones, so I don't know if it's cut off the mic. I'm not getting anything. There we go. I
Okay.
heard something.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Great. Cool. So you put $20 on Goku. This is Kynan stocks. Kynan stocks are on Goku. Uh, I will also put $20. I'll put 15 on Goku, 5 on Roshi. Uh, 15 on Goku and $5 on Roshi. Okay. Um, Now that technical difficulties are out of the way, we are at the end of the podcast. Do you have any final thoughts you wanted to give on the Emperor Pilaf arc?
I don't know. I mean, it was just a whole bunch of me cringing because of the infantile humor, and it's weird because I have before I was reading Dragon Ball, there was not a single manga that had me lose interest or had me feeling ashamed to read it until Dragon Ball came along. I will admit that.
Hmm.
Like I said, I really read much manga, and where I'm a Junji Ito fan, I mean, I know Junji can get a little bit weird, but that's part of his style of writing. But it's just there's a little deal of shame reading Dragon Ball, and uh, so it was a little bit of the heebie-jeebies that made me wonder what was going through the writers' heads when they made that arc.
What do you expect, or what do you what do you expect slash want out of the World Tournament arc?
The tournament arc, I would expect there to be more action, really get to showcase all the characters' abilities. I mean, I know they're going to show off Goku and Krillin's coming, they'll get to show him off before he gets turned into a jobber.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right. Um, Again, I have, for I've obviously already read Dragon Ball. I ain't going to give spoilers or anything. Um, but for those who are watching, thank you for watching us on YouTube. We go live. We do these podcasts live. At the moment, they're kind of sporadic when we'll go live with these podcasts. Hopefully next week we can get a reaction out to the second opening, discussion of the second opening of Dragon Ball to cover the AO party.
Alright, well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. What we're going to be doing soon is we're going to be getting a reaction on the first episode of Death Battle, a reaction to the opening for the second arc of Dragon Ball, while I'm getting caught up on the second arc that comes right up after the Pilaf Saga. So if you like it, give a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.